So, here we are on the moon. I didn't explain this before, but when you scan you can see some information about the planet here. The important things: the weather determines the lightning storms. If there's some bad weather you can get lightning storms that can kill your people. Tectonics, higher numbers are worse, more earthquakes with higher numbers which can also kill people. And the temperature, the high temperature planets will give you the firestorms like we had on Mercury which can kill people. Gravity is another important one. The more gravity you have, the more fuel it costs to land on the planet. You can see our fuel is now down to 9 when it started at 10. That's because it costs 1 to land on Mercury. So those are the important things. Auto scan, some minerals, fairly rubbish grey things. Energy scan 1 base there. Biological scan quite a lot. So before I go and look at the base, I'm going to dispatch the lander over to here where the biological signatures are, because we probably want to kill them first. Ah yes, and when you dispatch you can see where the normal fuel meter is. Fuel use 0.3. This is how much fuel it will take to land on the surface. So we need to do that. Here we go. So here we go. That's for the wrong button. That was the secondary fire button, which when pressed with the lander will take off from the surface of the planet. What we want is primary fire, which shoots the lander's weapon. So let's kill all of these tank looking things and we'll pick up some minerals while we're here. Not the best minerals, but there's something. You can see on the bottom, you can see where you are in relation to the surface in relation to the rest of the world and all the other things that the scanner has picked up. So let's move over here, find these last robot tank things and kill them. Another one. Pick up these things. Right, we're nearly full, so I'm not going to pick up anything else because we've only got 1 slot left in our minerals column in the bottom right, and if we fill it up by picking up too much you just lose the rest. So, to the base. Report from surface. We have discovered an alien base and explored its interior. The installation must have been abandoned many years ago, but great care has been taken to make it appear active. Life support systems are functioning. Fusion generators are at full output, and robotic construction vehicles have been programmed to roam the lunar surface, bulldozing moon dust into random piles. In addition, we have found the installation's hyperwave locked in transmit mode, endlessly playing the same alien recording. Although we cannot translate the message, our Xenotech, Ensign Rigby, believes the message is some kind of alert or mayday broadcast. The base is filled with useful materials and equipment. We will scavenge as much as we can and bring it aboard immediately. So, we have found the base abandoned, so exit the menu. I will save my game here because it's a good place to save it. Now the game has been saved. Back to Earth to report to the Starbase Commander.
Have you dealt with the base yet?
We found the base, but it was abandoned years ago.
I'll be darned! All these years we've been listening to their incoherent broadcast, and we never even guessed. Captain, listen closely. Long-range sensors show a ship closing on this station fast. Our computer identifies it as Ilrath, Avenger class. I think you've got a fight on your hands, Captain. Your best bet is to wait until you have point-blank range. Captain, it's jamming our signal.
By the fetid breath of the Dark Twin Kazon, a human and an alien starship. How fascinating. When I intercepted that Ur-Quan drone and learned that an unidentified starship had approached Earth, I never expected to find such a remarkable vehicle in the hands of a human. Humans are prey animals, weak and helpless. But here is a human in an armed starship, and therefore in direct violation of the oath of fealty. I am sure our masters, the Ur-Quan, will punish Earth most severely for this treachery when I present them with the twisted wreckage of your ship and your many charred corpses.
So, where the hell did you come from?
Since you will soon be dead, I will gladly explain. We have spent many years gleefully preying on the Pakunk. They are a pitiful, easily killed species. And we would have continued in this divine worship of Dogar and Kazon, but we required additional crew members and repairs to our cloaking device. So we departed the Jiglass constellation and set course for home. But before we had reached our region of space, we detected the passage of a nearby vessel, the Ur-Quan drone. It informed us about you, so here we are. And now, you die!
So it is now battle time. We can select to either use our flagship or this thing. This is an Earth starship called the Belt. If we use our flagship and it dies, that is game over. If we use this ship and it dies, we then get to use the flagship and try and win. But the flagship is the more powerful one, so I'm going to use that first. Here we are. Can't turn very well. There's a planet there. I'm crashing into the Earth. That's killing a lot of people on here. So I may not have chosen the best ship to use here. Maybe I should have. Is physics in here? If you go near the planet, the gravity will accelerate you. And it can be quite hard to control if you've got a rather slow ship. And I'm dead. So that's game over. So, load the game again. Back on the moon, so... back to the starship and have that conversation again.
Have you dealt with the base yet? I'll be darned. All these years we've been listening to their incoherent broadcast, and we never even guessed. Captain, listen closely. Long-range sensors show a ship closing on this station fast. Our computer identifies it as Ilrath, Avenger class. I think you've got a fight on your hands, Captain. Your best bet is to wait until you have point-blank range. Captain, it's jamming our signal.
By the fetid breath of the dark twin Kazon, a human and an alien. I never expected humans
fast-forward
are
conversation
here is a
using the
human
arrow
and an
keys.
and thereby an eye. Since you are but and
Okay, this time I'm going to use the Earth starship first. Hopefully this will be more manoeuvrable and we can actually kill the Ilrath with it. Much easier.
What a beautiful sight, Captain. I haven't seen an Avenger blown away like that since the battle in Draco. I guess you've shown that you can handle yourself in battle, Captain. So my last reservation about helping you has been dissolved. I will commit this station to helping free Earth and defeat the Ur-Quan. We may get our atoms rearranged in the process, but by God, Captain, we're going to try. So the obvious first step is to get the precursor equipment and software over here so that we can make it work with our ship repair fabricators. But then what, Captain?
Well, we will do this. We will slowly build our strength, unify an allied starfleet, and bring the Ur-Quan to their knee equivalent.
A sensible plan, Captain. Let's get to work. Good luck. By the way, Captain, I think we need a name for this new alliance we're going to forge. And since it was your idea, it's only fair that you get the honor of naming it. So, what will it be?
Well, here's our options. We can just use the old name, the new alliance of 3 stars. A couple of other sensible names here, or I can name it after myself. So I'm going to go not with the old boring name and not with the egotistical one, or really the Star Trek inspired one. I'm going to go for this one, the Concordance of Alien Nations.
Very well, from this day forward, we're the Concordance of Alien Nations. Now, Captain, I expect the configuration process for the starbase to take at least 2 weeks, so let's get to work. I have good news to report, Captain. We have successfully integrated the precursor technology from your ship into our fabricator system, and as you can see, we've already begun minor repairs on your ship, patching up some of the micrometeorite holes. We noticed that your ship does not have an emergency warp escape unit, so our engineers rigged up some for you and each of your escorts. Now, you should be able to escape from a bad situation with the touch of a button. But there is a cost, however. The unit gulps up 5 fuel units each time your precursor ship uses it. Also, we now have a limited capacity to make modifications to your ship, to refine starship fuel, to build additional combat ships, and to train new members of your crew for the flagship and any ships you acquire for your fleet. Captain, I know you're eager to get to work, so I'll be brief. If you have any questions how this starbase works, what resources we need, or just some background information on the galaxy, don't hesitate to ask.
So, here, this is where we get our backstory of what happened between the events of the first game and the events of the second game. So, before proceeding, I need some additional background information.
Certainly, Captain. What do you need to know?
So, would you elaborate on your facilities here at the starbase?
We can modify your precursor ship, build additional combat vessels, and supply you with fuel and crew.
What can you do to enhance and modify the Vindicator?
Our engineers and precursor specialists agree with the scientists from your world that your starship was designed to be a workhorse vehicle, which can be easily reconfigured for different missions by adding or swapping self-contained equipment packs, which we call modules. The modules we can build right now are thruster units, which make your ship move faster, attitude jets, which allow you to rotate the ship more quickly, crew pods, which provide life support facilities for up to 50 additional crew members, storage bays, which increase your ship's cargo capacity for mineral resources, fuel tanks, which hold an additional 50 units of fuel, dynamos, which feed energy into your combat energy batteries, improving your weapon's rate of fire. And last but not least, ion bolt guns, combat weaponry, the exact function of which depends on its location aboard the ship. When put in the first or front module slot, it fires a single shot forward. When put in the second slot, it fires 2 shots, spread to the left and right of center. When put in the third slot, it fires 2 shots directly left and right. And when put in the last or rear slot, it fires a single shot straight backwards.
So that's what they can build for me. How will I get fuel for the Vindicator?
This base is designed to service hierarchy ships. Fortunately, your flagship uses the same stabilized antimatter technology as hierarchy vessels and will be able to synthesize what you need. However, due to the size of your ship, we'll have to produce vast quantities of fuel, which will be a substantial drain on our resources.
How can I assemble a fleet of fighting ships?
Our shipyard facilities are sophisticated and fully automated, permitting a handful of starbase personnel to do the same job as 500 vac-suited construction workers. However, the only designs that we had in our computers were incomplete hierarchy ship designs. Things looked grim until one of the officers came forward with an amazing story. Even though the Ur-Quan destroyed every Earthling cruiser in the fleet nearly 20 years ago, one of my maintenance engineers was a starship production assistant at the Detroit shipyard. When Earth was conquered, she was ordered to destroy all ship construction databases. But she secretly made copies of the blueprint discs and then kept them with her ever since. These discs contain all the data we need to build as many Earthling cruisers as you want, provided you, Captain, can supply the large amounts of mineral resources required to build those vessels. In theory, Captain, we could build alien starships here if we had designs for them. However, it's a well-known fact that alien vessels just can't be flown in combat without native starship captains at the helm.
So there we go, we can build additional escort ships if we can ally with some alien races. We can build some of their ships provided that we stay allied with them so that they can provide the captains. But we will also require additional personnel, so how do we do that?
We have almost 2,000 highly motivated, skilled professionals aboard this starbase, and every single one of them wants a berth aboard your starship. However, each hand we lose to your ship means less manpower here at the starbase, and this is reflected in the crew RU cost. As long as you don't lose too many crew members to combat or planet exploration, the RU cost will remain static. But we have only so many warm bodies on this starbase, and if your needs for crew grow beyond a certain point, the cost could increase dramatically.
And now, would you please explain your resource allocation system?
As you know, Captain, we've committed the entire output of this station to building your flagship and your battle fleet into the strongest force possible. However, our resources are very limited, and we feel you must decide how we are to spend our effort and materials. To aid you in making these decisions, we have implemented a resource allocation scheme. We provide you with a numerical assessment of the station's resources and ascribe a cost to each task we can perform and each device we can build. It's up to you to decide how you're going to spend your resource units, or RU as we call them. To acquire more RU, you must bring resources back to the starbase. These resources can be either in the form of mineral ores gathered from planet surfaces or already refined metals and other valuable materials from the wreckage of enemy starships.
So what kind of resources are most useful to our mission?
The most straightforward way you can accumulate resource units is to bring mineral ores back to this starbase. There are probably enough resources in just the nearby dozen stars to build your ship into a powerful battleship or to create a strong task force of combat vessels. I would also recommend that you build several additional storage bays. When gathering minerals, focus on cleaning out one star system at a time. This way you minimize the cost of travel through hyperspace.
And what use are our planet landers' sophisticated life-form analysis features?
While I respect your search for abstract knowledge, frankly, Captain, in our present circumstances, I see little use for such data here. Perhaps you can make use of biological information elsewhere.
You have answered my questions on this topic.
What else can I tell you?